Welcome back, everyone, to the 123bull.com Bull for the Cure singles event. We're here in East Hartford, Connecticut at Hall of Fame Silver Lanes, and our host, Tony Renaud. We're online for the semifinals, where we're going to see on 31-2, Tony Renaud, our host, face John Conry. And on 33-4, what we believe to be the first all-female semifinals match between Natasha Bidwell from Schenectady, New York, and Nicole Trudell. And Natasha is the only non-winner in our 4 semifinalists. Bruce Hall here along with Chris Forey and our guest, Alex Aguiar. How are you doing, guys?
Howdy.
I'm doing great. Oh, spectacular.
We're all on the other side of the climax that was the Hall of Fame dinner last night, and I can tell you that Mr. Forey has been on overdrive for the last month over that event, and I think it really showed. It was an event with a tremendous amount of detail and a huge amount of just love and investment, and just a fantastic job. We'd have to call you the producer and the driver and everything behind that, Chris. So, thank you so much. And Alex, of course, a Hall of Famer, and receiving his plaque last night. And I was lucky enough to be asked to be the MC, and it was so much fun creating the notes and just getting the all the data that was there for each of the bowlers. And I learned a huge amount about all these great bowlers. So it was a fantastic event.
It definitely was. If I don't talk much this time, I'm controlling the camera, so
that's okay. The media committee is about to be back at full strength since Cal just lost to Nicole Trudell, and with any luck, he won't be so bummed out that he'll come and work the camera for us to let us focus.
First time I've seen this girl, Natasha Bidwell, bowl, and
it's first time. She's been in a lot of teams. First time I've ever seen her.
I've never seen her, and she has just been bowling great all day.
Of course, she starts with a double.
I'll say it again. The two of the nicest guys alive are bowling on 31 and 32 right now.
John Conry and Tony.
John's PBA member out of New York, and Tony's our gracious host. And Tony and Suzanne go above and beyond for all the bowlers here. Once again, just a well-run bowling center with that family love-filled atmosphere that, they put their heart and soul in this place, and the transformation's been unbelievable here over the last few years since they've purchased it. So kudos to Tony and his wife Suzanne for letting us come here twice a year, and thank you guys.
And it's really all the little touches. I mean, you couldn't find a way to pay for food here pretty much all weekend. They've added money into these tournaments. We talked to Tony about the condition that he put out, and it was actually it's a 12-to-1 house shot, actually, is what he did. And a lot of people say, oh, house shot. And there's a trip 9 for Nicole to get her for the first 3 with Natasha with the front 2. So all strikes on this match so far.
All strikes over there.
And all strikes, and here's Conry to keep it going.
Primal Fear.
Is that what he's saying?
Primal Fear. Conry blows out the 7-pin. So our semifinalists have started with the first 8. As we said,
anybody else but
good
notice,
high-scoring pattern here. And Tony's logic behind the pattern was that, number one, this was our $55 tournament for the year, so we were expecting a lot of entries, and we got them. A lot of bowlers hadn't bowled all summer, so he didn't want to put anything too difficult out.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes with, well, I'll argue with him about that logic.
We will be.
But the next point is you get a lot of new bowlers sometimes, and players who come out for the $55 tournament. You don't necessarily want to see them struggle too badly, if they're new players. So this was Tony's logic for putting it.
I know. We talk about this a lot.
I appreciate it because I pretty much averaged
a lot
250
of strikes
for the weekend.
Here in the finals, boys.
We have not missed yet.
We will. Tony and I will be having a nice conversation one of these days.
So we'll have 4, 7, 10. We've just shot 300. That's the Andy Verapapa semifinals NEBA 300.
Yeah.
We've got the first 12. And here's Tony for 13. He got that in.
Black cloud.
Not even that one's going to hold. Way to go, Bruce.
Thank you.
Real
It's
quick,
the
while-
announcer's curse. Hey, ask him about the time I called John Van Hees' 210.
Oh no.
I called it. Well, he went through the beak, and he went through the beak. He moved in. This is against
How
Pepe.
about the ladies both with the front four?
Ladies both with front four.
Sorry to cut you off there.
Anyway, he's bowling. John Van Hees is bowling Pepe, and he's on the right lane, and he's struggling anyway. He goes beak. I said, you know, quite often, guys, you overcompensate, move it. Sure enough, 210. So
Real quick,
it
everybody.
really was the announcer's curse.
I don't mean to cut off Bruce, but we need to make sure you share the feed. Whoever's watching, please hit the share button. Get all your friends and family members to watch. I cannot hit the share feed because
I already did it.
we're using my account.
You can share with yourself.
Going back
It
to the
doesn't
Hall
let
of
you.
Fame thing last night, I just want to say it's unbelievable that we had so many people watch the live stream last night.
15,000, Alex.
It's incredible.
Wow, is that right? I had not heard
Bruce,
that.
Bruce had the.
It's slightly under. All right, I'm rounding up. It was 14,000 something watched the second half.
That's
all right.
views.
About
That's total views, or is
Views,
that
just
okay.
people scroll. I mean, it don't
Amazing.
matter. That means it went through. You didn't realize we only get about
14,000
5,000 for a
times.
title match.
That's amazing.
That's 5,000. I think is still amazing.
Wow, that's
I know,
fantastic.
I know we had Hans Fecko watching from the West Coast, and a lot of guys. That
He was
couldn't make
messaging
it.
me.
Yeah.
He still is. He's
Hans.
chiming in here.
Hi, Hans. Wish you were here last night, buddy. It's been a long time.
So Nicole with the first 5, Natasha here trying to match her.
I like where she gets her
She
hand
got
in
that
it.
one right.
Turn it right. Good shot.
But I like
oh,
where she
in
gets her
for
hand in a
nine
really
pin.
good spot
Sure
at the top.
does. Sure does.
She got that a little slow and right.
That looks like a Black Ops, by the way.
It is a Black Ops. She threw that. I'm sorry. She threw an IQ Tour Solid against me. That might be an IQ Tour Solid, Chris.
It actually is a storm ball, so high road.
We're
high
going
road.
another way. It's a high road.
High
now.
road.
So she
you'll-
threw an IQ Tour Solid against me. So she's made that progression as the lanes have transitioned. Obviously, a little more friction in the front. High road comes into play.
And yet she has a 900 global shirt on, guys.
I believe her
Her boyfriend,
boyfriend
or
is
fiancé, whatever
he's
it
on
may be.
900 global
Yeah.
staff.
There we go. There's the explanation.
John Conroy.
There's Conry.
There he is.
Primal
About
Fear.
the first 4. I crossed with John in both the seniors and the regular event.
Yes, we had fun
It
this
was a
morning.
great cross.
We had a
Yes,
good time.
We did, yeah. I had great crosses this weekend.
Even though you had to get moved.
She got that one in a little, and that's going to hold.
That's flat 10.
Yeah,
That's
flat
that's
10.
flat 10.
That's that
10.
puddle there down lane. That
I tried to aim in there the last squad.
Yeah.
did you really?
Well, I went right
Did
to
you
left.
finally get the 8-pin out?
Let's not
Good
talk
one.
about that.
Good one. Harsh. That was hard.
Those 8 pins generally ended up costing me the finals.
Let me tell you what. For a guy who doesn't bowl very much, you still throw it good. Don't discredit yourself.
Oh, I
You
know.
I know you do often, and I always tell everyone, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. Yes, you are. You don't bowl.
I can tell you a funny thing, Alex. This summer, since usually when we go to nationals, I'll practice on a Wednesday. I'll start practicing like Wednesday or Thursday, get ready for nationals. And this year, and usually when nationals ends, a week or two after that, I'll bowl regional in Pennsylvania, the non-champions one, and then I just pretty much don't bowl other than league on one night. But I said to myself, this year I need to continue this. So
Here's Nicole going for her 6th. And guys, I'm going to interrupt you for a second and thank our sponsors. BuddiesProShop.com to my left. StrikeFX Pro Shops to my right, who just opened their 6th location in Brockton, Massachusetts, as Nicole gets her 6th. Ace Mitchell, Better Bowling Concepts, Brunswick, who gave away 4 balls this weekend, which I'll mention in a minute. Cambridge Credit Counseling, Logo Infusion, Turbo Grips, BowlingSeriously.com, Tony Renan, Hall of Fame Silver Lanes, Yankee Lanes, Bullwinkle's Pro Shop, Savage Arms, Many Styles of Bowling, and our newest sponsor, John Zawalik up at DJ's Pro Shop. So thanks
Hey,
so much
welcome
to
aboard,
all.
John.
Thanks so much to all of our NEBA sponsors. We could not do it without you guys.
John Conroy's got the front 5 here. Nicole's got the front 6, looking for 7 here.
that's a
Boy,
little
she
left.
deep.
Little left.
Boy,
Flat 10.
she
Oh,
she
rolled
trips
up
little
that
love,
before.
trip 4.
She's
you know,
moved. She's
you
moved
know
at least
you're bowling
5
well
left.
when the pins fall that way. You
That's
know
right.
it's coming off your hand well.
And she's nodding as if she knows that too.
We have a re-rack by Conroy's on the left.
I've always
That's
said that a trip 4 is actually a really good shot. It means you are nice to it at the bottom. If you grab
So-
all over it at the bottom, that trip 4 is not going down.
So I'll tell you the.
Conroy re-racks it, doesn't even look for the next rack to pop up.
That's awesome.
Well, that's the first rule of re-racks, guys. When you re-rack, your rack gets better. That's the way the rule is. So you don't even have to look.
Yeah, automatically.
Right? That's how it works.
Not on AMF
We
machines.
got that one right. That looks good too. John Conroy.
So, guys, we mentioned the $55 tournament, 242 entries in the singles. And we had the senior event yesterday, which was good. 56 qualifiers. Our scores were very impressive. Tom Hankey leading last night at 13:29. R.J. Broge had 314 over for 4. He needed 300 to tie Andy Lamonto's record at 14:14. He went
seven.
first 6, front 7. We were right next to him. He ends up 13:63. And Michael Simba at the 1 p.m. squad shoots 13:41.
I think it's amazing to do that at 12:30 on a
Really
house shot.
impressive.
I'll tell you
and
what,
and the
wasn't
at-large
expecting
cut
the
was
scores to be that high at noon.
they held up. I was 6th going in. They seeded 8, and I got beat by 5 guys.
Yeah,
So
they,
it was
I
impressive.
moved right. I moved
Impressive.
right, and I played about like 12 at the dots, 14 at the arrows to 18 down the lane, and it would stay there.
Connery missed with a 10-pin.
Yep.
And covers it up. And Tony, meanwhile, has only missed once.
Yeah,
So
he's got
But
room
down
for
2.
Tony's down 2 and count, so he can get back into this match. Nicole going for her 8th.
Tell you what, we've got 2 really good matches shaping up here in the
Amazing
semifinals
matches.
here.
She got that a
Great
little further
shot
right.
by Nicole.
Oh, plowing the 5-8-10.
That lane
nice
seems
little-
to have a little bit more bounce.
Kind of a half can opener.
Oh, she's smiling over
there.
that one. Anthony Raynaud.
Oh, I missed Tony's shot.
Oh,
Crumbler. I did get that, though. I hit the
What-
button
what
just
do
in
they-
time.
What do they call that?
Bucket
like
crumbler.
when you're on the golf course, it's like course knowledge, you know?
Crumbling
members
the
bounce.
bucket.
Whatever.
Members bounce.
It's the members bounce.
So I asked Tony how many times per day he gets that joke. And the answer is 3 or 4
yeah, well,
every day.
one on the live feed
So-
started now.
And then he had a match against Viali, who's 7-10s in the 10th. And I said, the optics on that one are not good, Tony.
Oh, that's a
Another
little
good
right.
one,
Get up
Because,
there.
and she
Wow.
carries that one as well. She
Unreal.
is a carrying
This girl has
machine.
been unbelievable for the
From a
last
trip
month.
4 to 2 can openers, just smoking them.
Chris, you get back to Tony's shot here?
Oh, jeez.
See? I'm on it.
I'm coaching.
You have me in the box for a reason, pal.
I know. I got into coaching there for a second.
Just don't want to hear my voice, you know?
That's a little right, too. Peeling up. Wow.
Gets
She gets
it.
into the dirt early.
No,
She got a pretty good look there.
She's got it out.
I
Listen,
like her ball roll.
I do too. Notice how the final 4 here, there's none of the guys that
Wind
just
up.
get in and wind up all over it.
She's got the most rev rate.
Yeah,
Nicole.
it's get it through the front of the lane, but to read the mid lane and not open up your angles a ton. And those are the ones that are still balling now. I couldn't
right.
figure out how to do it.
It's a pretty good shot.
Great
John
shot.
Conroy,
John.
good shot. We got a really good match.
You talked about, you
Natasha
talked-
still has a chance here. She's got to get them all here. And
She could make Nicole show up in the 10th.
Yeah,
if she
she
gets
can.
them all, she's in the
That could be a
260s.
flat 10.
that's flat 10 all day. Oh no!
Oh,
How
wow.
about
What
a
a
5?
ripper rack.
Ooh.
So I bowled yesterday in the seniors, and I
Ho
can
hum,
tell
ho
you
hum,
that it
ho hum.
was the same 12-to-1 ratio, but it was blended out a little more. So I was able actually to use pin up and push it down the lane. And even if I got it a little left and out into the dry a little bit, it wouldn't overreact. It wouldn't come up. But I carried a lot of trip 6s yesterday.
Keep it 2 pins.
Oh,
Oh,
great
slap the
shot.
10.
Shot.
And today I was 5 right of that and playing deeper in the oil,
That's
and
a
it was
good
much
shot.
more cliffy.
Oh.
And there's the flat 10 we were
There it
looking
is.
The
for.
funny thing is
so,
that was a better shot than the other one. Just
yeah.
wiggled there.
That lane's had a little bit of wiggle on it.
That's what I found when I moved right, the wiggle went away. Except for 41 too, but even there I was able to step right a couple boards and still point it in,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
ball would just, you could get the hook and stop.
If you could get it through the head.
Why
you
didn't you
know.
tell me
had
that
to be up
earlier?
the back.
Yeah.
You had to be up the back of it a little bit.
Oh, I
as
was
you
not-
were
I was-
doing. You
I
had the trick roll
I was
going.
puckling.
And
I'm not
Chris-
bowling enough to use the trick roll right now, man. Just get left and bang on it.
Well, and
I
Chris,
tried that.
Yeah.
Well, and Chris, I had to give you back the same advice you gave Pepe, which is you want it reading at 30 feet.
30,
and your
35
your
feet,
ball
yeah.
was reading at 40 or 45 feet. And then I said, do you have anything pinned down,
Got that
aggressive?
already?
You go, no, I don't have that in my bag. I said, by the way, you have like a 10,000 square foot
Where-
inventory, warehouse that you could bring such a ball, to a tournament. But, that's okay.
Thank God John Van Hees isn't here because this has his shape
yeah.
written all
Another
over
great
it.
shot by
Another-
Nicole. Dead flush.
Her hand is in such a good spot at the
We've,
bottom.
we worked really,
It's-
really hard at
her
that.
hand is in such a good
Worked a
spot.
lot on finger positions a couple years ago, getting our fingers to, like moving her fingers around the spots to
Yeah,
get her
yeah.
hand in the right spot.
Any of the things we did as kids, moving you, changing your hand
Here's
position,
Tony to
finger
keep up.
positions.
When
That's it.
Raynaud, what a great shot.
when I started working with her, she obviously her ball speed was down, things like that. So we did things to improve that. But her ball would roll out like every shot, and I'm like, you got. So I started teaching her to manipulate the ball a little bit more. And great student.
So Natasha
Her swing is real straight.
could
Sorry,
end up.
Bruce.
Left arm.
Sorry, Natasha could end up
The
having
left
a low
arm's the
game
key.
here. Natasha could end up having the low game here with 257. And we could have a 277 to 279 match here in the Conroy Renaud match.
We could. Yeah, Alex, if you watch her left arm, that's the biggest improvement.
I didn't know what it was beforehand, obviously.
It was like just drop down to the left leg.
Yeah, she didn't
Oh,
use it to
Tony.
get that momentum going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, that was the biggest.
So Tony's going to be in the 260s.
It's amazing how people don't realize how much their left arm plays a role.
Oh,
in this
I was
game.
bad at it too, and I really worked hard on it
Well,
last
there's
year.
a lot of people that just, you know,
Take it for
again,
granted.
it's
When you're young
coaching.
and athletic, you can get
It's
away with it.
coaching, though, that, you know, I see a lot of these junior programs where there's not a lot of people out there teaching these kids, and guys like yourself who take the time to teach people, you know. We need more guys like you, brother. We need more of you.
We
Tony's going to end up 66.
Conroy still needs a strike here to
which
win.
is going to make Conroy get one.
Natasha,
right.
nice bowling. I think when you're young and athletic, you get away with a lot of bad things.
Agreed.
As we get older, we begin to see our flaws. And I've had to work really hard at my game. I've really tried to take time the last couple of months because my left arm always would drop, and I'd be good for a month, and then another month would be horrible bowling.
The only guy that can
At least
do
now
that
I'm
is Brian
consistent.
Zizek.
Right. At least now I'm consistent. So
Oh, here it is.
Well,
Oh,
Big
it's for
shot.
that good.
Big shot.
Feel up.
Get up. Oh, ring 10.
Ooh, the members
That's
bounce
going to
again.
put Tony Renaud in the final against Nicole Trudell.
Tony Raynaud survives again.
all right, we're going to watch John finish up here. Then we need to move the camera, so we'll be shutting down just a second. We'll let John finish up, give him the honor of finishing.
He bowled great all day. I know he bowled pretty good yesterday in the senior event as
He
well.
did.
And
I crossed with him yesterday, bowled great. And again today,
he just has
a
that
lot of
steady game, Bruce. It
He's,
just
Not
he's
a-
worked
not
hard
a lot
too.
of
I know he spent a lot of
simple-
time with Patrick. Him and Patrick Allen have worked a lot in the last 6 months.
Not a lot of turn.
oh, that's a good thing.
He's behind it.
Yeah.
He's straight up.
Patrick, great brain.
You know, it's a very serviceable game for the tour as well. You
Yeah,
know,
well, when you got a brain like that around you, and if you're not learning with a brain like that around you, there's a problem.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Patrick, very, very knowledgeable.
I don't disagree.
You know, and John and him are very good friends, so he's known John's game for a long time. So John went down. We drove John's stuff, but John went down there to have him do the coaching with him. and
That's
everything,
all
so-
right.
Yeah, we have
Listen,
no.
just like I said, there's room for everybody in this
absolutely.
game, man.
All right, folks, we're going to sign off. Hopefully, Alex decided to stick around for the final match.
My wife might kill me, but I'll do it. I hope you're watching, honey, but I'm staying around for one more.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. Great commentary.
I'm trying.
All right, folks, we'll see you in a couple minutes.